Alright. Let's see here. Where did I leave off? I think I left off telling you I wasn't going to torture you with doing the roof morph. So I completed that offline. So I've got that done. Going on over here. We did this. This is the one I made you sit through. That was torture. I apologize. What I'm going to do now is work on this door seam. And I've been thinking about it a little bit, and I don't think I'm going to move the entire seam back and forth. I think I would be better served by having this section from here to here morph, so that if someone wants to do, let's say, because say you do that, then you have kind of an asymmetrical looking model. Maybe you want to do that, maybe you want to do this, maybe you just want a square body, right? But now you have this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to square this up, and this should be easier than doing the windshield. So let's have a look here. First thing I got to do is move the seam, and let me get into a view there. Just move it about 1 meter-ish. Now let's get into the model, and let's highlight what we're going to need to move. So probably going to need from maybe here all the way over to maybe here. Everything in between that. So let's get that all selected. About like so. I think this is a good place to start the pivot, right there. And then obviously I don't need this. So let's see. So yeah, we're just going to move it, you know, to the left here until it's basically straight. And we have slightly different angles, so I'm going to have to tweak it a little bit from left to right, and I'm almost half tempted to do it half at a time. Almost not entirely sure. And in fact, now that I think about it, I'm probably going to need a little bit more of this. I'm probably going to need at least this much more. Oh, don't need that guy. Because we're going this way. So yeah, let's just get started. Let's give it a try. And just go as we go, right? So I'm going to go back to weight painting here. And let's see. We've got the mix brush. We're ready to go. We're ready to rock. Let's go ahead and start adding some weight until it starts to look. Now, see, this side is already going too far. So what I want to do is I'm going to come back and undo. That's not far enough now. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. No, that's too far. Needs to be something. I think there maybe might be where it needs to be. Hold on one quick second. Okay. And then, so what I'll have to do is, yeah, because this needs to be straight up and down, but this already is straight up and down. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh, you know what? No, I'm not thinking this through. I'm trying to move the whole seam, right? Yeah. Maybe this will be a bit more torture. Maybe you guys are going to suffer with me a little while longer as I try to pull this off. Yeah, let's go ahead and highlight all that. Don't need that. Because we're going to need to get this thing straight from here. So, go back into weight painting mode. And we'll just start moving the whole door over like that. Zoom in here so I can see. I've gone a little too far. Maybe to there. Okay. Now back to edit mode. Deselect this line. Back to weight paint mode. Move the whole thing over a tad. It's too far. Undo, undo, until we're about there-ish. That looks pretty good. Okay. Back to edit mode. Deselect this line across here. And yeah, this is going to be more windshield torture, as it turns out. So, whatever. At least I've got some practice, right? So that looks pretty straight up and down there. Don't know how too much further I want to go with this. Over here. So let's see. If I disconnect that, What am I connected to here? Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of those. And let's get rid of those. Alright. Again, weight paint mode. I don't think this is actually going to be as bad as the windshield. I mean, it's not going to be great, but, I mean, so far, looking pretty solid. And, you know what, I think this blueprint line is actually throwing me off, so let me go ahead and let me tab out of this into object mode. Actually, I don't even have to do that. I can just go right over here to my blueprints, go to the side blueprint, snap on it there, and I don't want to see it, so I'm just going to hide it. There we go. Okay, back to this. Oh dear. Oh dear. What has happened? I have lost all of my... I have to undo. I'm going to have to go undo, because I don't want to lose all my selections. Okay. Do that again. Get up here. Turn that off, so I don't have to see it. Tab back in. Right? Okay. Now we're set. Okay. And I had just done that, so that's already done. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Like so. One more. One more. Come on. Alright. Weight paint. A couple more steps, and we're getting a little close up here. How far I can go. One last step. So I'm probably going to deselect this line now. Right here. And hopefully that'll be okay. And then we'll deselect that line. Go back in, add a little more weight, maybe one more tick, and okay. Alright, now we're back about where we started. Now it's going to get a little more challenging, because like I said, I could probably just fudge it a little bit. I mean, I could just line it up till this is straight, and that'll still be at a little bit of an angle. But I don't know, I kind of want to tweak it until both of these are, until everything's straight. And so it's going to take a lot of tweaking to do that, because I've got, what, this line that would need to be straightened out. I've got this line that would need to be straightened out. This one. I've got 5 lines that have to all line up perfectly as I go up through here. So maybe a little bit of tweakage. Might be best if I just kind of go at it bit by bit with a smaller brush. Now I'm thinking about it. Let me get back in here, and well, let me at least get rid of this, because this is done. And these are probably done. I don't need to do those anymore. And these are probably fine. Don't need to do those anymore. And so yeah, let me do it the way I think it's meant to be done. Actually painting. Let's make this maybe 25. That's a little small. Let me get that a little bit bigger. So let me just kind of start sweeping across here. That's actually kind of already where I want it, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think I want to move that. So let's start from here. Let's sweep across. Let's add some paint until this line starts to look straight. And we'll just sweep it and sweep it. Sweep it across. Sweep it across. That looks starting to look about straight there. Maybe a little more. Maybe a little more. Yeah, that's actually pretty good, I think. Alright, oh, that's already pretty straight, so we'll just sweep that across. And I think we're done with that one. So let's move on to this one, and let's sweep it across. Sweep it across. Sweep it across, and I should do this with my my drawing pad, honestly. It works in Blender. I'm not very good with it, but let me plug it in and see what happens. Let me plug this guy in and see if I can actually make this work with a pen instead of a mouse a little bit. Yeah, I'm not particularly coordinated, but oh boy. Alright, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna actually, this is gonna be better for me or not. Oh, and I've probably already gone too far, because I need to only go, oh yeah, I'm doing this line. I'm on a different line altogether. So from here across, now I'm doing this with a pen instead of a mouse. It's not, I'm not super comfortable with it, but I should probably practice this because it's supposed to be so much better, you know, and I don't know, maybe I just need to, like I said, probably just need to practice. Can you tell by that I'm not much of an artist? I can't hold my hand steady or anything. Yeah, I'm better at this with a mouse so far, so maybe by the time I'm done with this, I'll be pretty good with the pen. We'll see. Let's keep playing with it. Let's move this across one more. And this actually looks pretty, maybe one sweep here. Make that kind of straight. And then it's just a matter of getting these guys moved over. Yeah, you gotta kind of keep going. It's weight painting, it's not drawing. I want to get this until it's straight up and down. Yeah, you know, this is actually not too terrible. It's not the worst thing ever. Let me change my value a little bit because I feel like I'm just not getting quite enough. Let me go 0.002. Let me double it up some here. Alright, let's try continuing on here. Just sweeping it across. Doing weight painting the way it was meant to be done, right? And maybe one more sweep over here. And this needs to be straight up, so let's grab those and sweep it across. Keep on drawing here. And let's see, keep on drawing a little. Maybe one more. Kind of hard to see this line. Not super clear where it is, but you can kind of sort of see it. So I'm going to just keep on going here. Sweep that across. Until I get this door seam straight up and down. Yeah, you know, I think I should just keep practicing with the pen because I think I can see the benefits of it. I feel like this is maybe needs a little bit of a straightening. Yeah, because see, I could just like, I think I have, ultimately I will have more control with the pen than I will with the mouse, as long as I actually like learn how to use it, right? Practice with it, get decent at it. I can already kind of tell the benefits. Maybe one more swipe there. I almost feel like maybe I've gone too far. Like this isn't even straight up and down anymore, is it? Yeah, let me undo that last one. Okay, I need to move up a tad. Actually, well, I have a 3D mouse. I should be able to do this without having to take my hand off of the drawing pad. There we go. Okay, yeah. See, it's all about learning how to use all your tools, and I haven't learned how to use them all yet. Let's keep on going here. We'll keep drawing this. I kind of feel like I should probably be drawing the entire thing. Just maybe, how do I make this bigger? Can I do something here? Point. Oh, that's not actually what I want to make bigger. It's actually trying to make the radius bigger. Let's get back up to a large radius. Let's zoom out. I'm going to go ahead and do this with the mouse because I just want to push these over. I'm going to push all of them over. Start pushing everything over. Like that. Let's just do all of these. Like this. Just get this back part of the door finished, I suppose. Probably be pretty good. So that looks mostly done. I feel like this might be a little... Right here looks like it might need a little swipe. And then I guess I can just kind of go fixing the rest of this, you know, bit by bit, because I kind of got to move. All these have to move over till they're up. I can probably just move them over now, huh? Let's maybe make this a little bit bigger, 0.05. I'll go ahead and just kind of get these out. Whoa, that was way too big. No. Oh, I meant 0.005, not 0.05. Yeah, that's why. So just kind of get these out of the way. Need to miss them. Keep on moving them. Maybe one more. Get those out of the way. Okay. Probably do the same thing here, huh? move that line. Just a little bit more. Some more. I feel like I'm probably, let me turn this off because I actually need to, oh dear, I can't see anything now. Yeah, it's face paint mode. Will it let me actually draw those? No, it won't. Well, okay, let's just move it over like one more then. Like that. And then, alright. Back to the pen, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Get a little more visual fidelity here. And keep on dragging these guys over. Yeah, I need to make my pen a little bit bigger here. A larger brush. Let's keep on working this. Let's keep on working this. Okay, I'm getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. That probably needs to come up a little bit more, huh? Okay, it's looking pretty good here. Let's keep on going here. Okay, I need to change the amount here. 0.001. Go ahead and clean that up some there. We'll drag this out a bit. Maybe one more there, and then just kind of keep going with these until we're where we need to be. I don't think I need to move that one right there out anymore. So I'll just keep moving these guys out. That one doesn't need to move out anymore either, I don't think. Just keep brushing these. Brush them, brush them, brush them. Just one little bit at a time. I'm kind of doing this conservatively because I just don't want to make a huge mess. Now, I kind of think, let me see, how do I want to handle the rest of this? So I wonder if I should get that 3D mouse going here. I should just kind of like start going this way, maybe. Let's give this a try. Let's give that a try. I'm gonna up the amount because it's taking too long. Let's do 0.005. Let's give this a try again. Let's keep on going. Keep on drawing until this makes a little more. Oops, I made a little bit of a mess there. Okay. Oh, hand off the mouse. My hand on the 3D mouse is kind of making a mess here. Keep on dragging. Keep on dragging. Keep on dragging. Oh, I missed one. Okay. A little more. Yeah, so a lot of these are going to have to keep going. Gotta move this one, another one. And you know what? I need to highlight one more line. I need to go back to edit mode. And I need to be able to work on this one from here down to maybe not all of that, but to there at least. Alright, go back to weight paint mode. Because that guy is just, it needs more room. Let's go ahead and, oops. Oh dear. Making a mess, making a mess. Still not real good with the pen. I kind of feel like I would be better off if I had one of these drawing pads that had a screen on it. Like if I could actually see what I was drawing on rather than drawing on just kind of like a plastic pad. I'd be drawing on a video screen. I think that might actually be a little bit easier than doing this. Those are freaking expensive. The ones with the little screens on them, and they're not cheap. And so I'm getting kind of some weird geometry here. So let me actually just kind of I'm kind of making a mess now. See, I got one that's not quite in the right spot, but oh, there we go. Okay, let's give that a go. Now, I want to move this guy up until it starts kind of lining up a bit here. like that. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the rest of these. I'm going to kind of do this, kind of do that. And, oh, I went a little too far. Let me change the strength again. Okay, let's move that one over there a little. And there, I think that's pretty good right there. Let me go ahead and let me increase my brush size again, maybe to like 80. And let's try, it's a little small. Let me do 100. And in fact, let me go back in, since these are done, let me go back into edit mode and deselect what these for, because I don't want to accidentally move them now that I'm done with them. Hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me just do it this way. Like that. Is that what I'm after? Yeah, I don't need those. Let me go back into edit mode there. I don't want to have these guys selected. So I think actually all these are done, right? So deselect those so I don't accidentally hit them. Okay. So now let me try doing it like this. Let's go like this. Make 2 lines at once. And I still think this needs to be bigger. Let's try 150. Yeah, there we go. And we'll just kind of like do these 2 lines at the same time here. And I'm going to need more strength. Let's jump this back up to 0.005 because 0.001 is going to take too long. Let's just kind of do all of these. Back down. Back up. Back down. Back up. And what is happening over there? Oh no, I've got something that's not selected. See, I've got a vertex here that's not selected and it's causing issues. So let's go back. I gotta go figure out which one that is. Edit it. And is it you? Is it that guy? Seems weird that it would be that one. Hold on. I think that was it. That was the one. Okay. Well, whatever. I'll try again. And, oh yeah. I undid all the way back to the point where I was at 001. So let's go back to 005. Alright, let's just keep working this section here. Yeah, okay. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. This bottom line is, I'm worried about hitting that one. So let me go back and deselect that one. Oops, not that one, this one. Okay. Now I don't have to worry about drawing over it. So, keep on going here, and I think I'm done with that one for the most part. So let me go in. No, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Let's move it at least one more. And that's probably it. That'll do it. Let me try 0.001. I think I want to do maybe just one more pass here. There, that's done. Okay. So now we're going to work on this section here, these couples. So let's make this like 100. Is that the right size? Maybe a little bit harder. This one's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. I'm going to have to go kind of like that. So actually I think I'm going to do this line by itself first and kind of get it out of the way. And so I'm going to up that one up 0.005, and let's just get this line out of the way. Let's just kind of get it in the middle of where we're going to want it. We'll just work it across, oops. Keep on working it here till it's right about in the middle. Oops. Oops. One too far over there. Alright, that gives me a little more room. You can just kind of maybe I want this just a little further out, like that. Okay, I think that'll be okay. Alright, now let's try this again. Let's get back up to, I don't know, what was I at, 120-ish? That's probably alright. Alright. So it might be a little big. We're going to just kind of follow this around there. I'm going to pull this door out until it starts making sense. This is actually a little bit less frustrating than the front window. I think I'm kind of starting to become one with weight painting a little more. It's still not my favorite thing ever, but let's see if I can actually make lemonade out of this here. Keep on going. Keep on going. So I feel like that last pass was not very good. So let me make this smaller. Not that smaller. I'll make 0.03, and then I'm going to make this about 20, something like that. And I'm just kind of I'll do these individually like this for now, until they're straightened up. Now we're going to start getting into our door crease here. Just kind of make that till it's round. Okay, and then now we're just kind of left with this over here. And I want to sharpen that up a bit, so let's kind of like bring these out like so. Bring these out. I'm going to bring this out. Start getting more of the shape we're after here. Bring this guy out. And then we'll have to bring this whole line with it in a second. What I'll do is I'll just kind of do that for a minute, and then let me go ahead and up the value to like 0.01, and you'll get this top line here. Okay, let's do 0.005 and something like that. Alright, and then we kind of do the same thing right here, maybe just one pass right along here. And I think that's it. That, to me, looks like that should do it. Alright, hold up. Put that away. Alright, let's jump into object mode. Take a look at our scene here. Get off X-ray. Alright. Okay, let me do zero out the transforms. Okay, so there we go. Now we have a scene that does that, which is, ooh, that's a little ugly right there. Unfortunately, I might want to, because I modeled it with this out here, what I might want to need to kind of sort of do is I might need to fix this up so that it morphs better stock. So let me jump in here. Hold on. Now let me jump into object mode. Jump into edit mode. And yeah, it's right. So we're going to have to do some more painting. Probably going to have to hit this entire area to smooth this out. And that's okay, because this is going to actually be pretty straightforward. So let me just run back into weight paint mode. Go into X-ray here so I can actually see something. Let's see. I'm going to set, my brush is already set, and grab my pen again. And let's get back to doing a bit of weighting here. Something like that. That's already enough. Let me de-highlight that line so I don't accidentally draw on it again. Back over to weight paint. Zoom in some. Center it out. Alright, I should be able to do the rest of this without having to go back in edit mode. So we'll do that. Go ahead and draw this out a couple times. Go ahead and draw this out a couple times. Go ahead and draw this out a few times. Let's do one more. We're going to have to start stacking it up a little bit. Let me up the strength here to 0.01. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and... Now, see, the thing is I think this is not going to work out all that well. This is going to create a thing where if you don't morph the back, it's going to look a little funny. Or when you morph the back, it'll look a little funny. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And that's not quite there. And I'm going to have to tweak this a little bit, but yeah. Still got this big old dent because there's an extra line. Some other, I guess this line is part of it too. It needs to be dealt with right here. That needs to come back also. So let's go ahead and paint it out. Do something like that. Something like that. Maybe one more across there. Okay. So that should probably fix that issue there. Let me jump back in. Let me jump back in object mode, and we'll take a look. I need to be in pose mode here. So let's go ahead and clear the transform. So what happens now? So the roof morph is still okay. So that's a little hokey. I really want it to look right by itself, in case someone just wants this. So I'm going to have to work this. I'm going to have to work this back end. I'm going to have to work this glass in this corner. Yeah, because it's all wonky. I got this looking better up here. But yeah, I'm just going to have to keep playing with it until it makes sense. So let's go back into edit mode. Actually, hold on. No, I need this to be in edit mode. So let's go ahead and start highlighting some bits over here. Probably going to need to do something about that. All right, back to weight paint. Back to weight paint. So how do I want to handle this? Let me see, what line is causing what problem right now? I think I'm going to start by just making this into more of a bow, so that it kind of just bows out a little more. So I'm going to start with that. Let's kind of like grab this until it goes up there. Kind of the same thing here. Maybe one more. Oops, I missed a line. Alright, same thing here. Same thing there. Keep on going. Missed a couple. Okay, got them. Okay, let's do the same thing here. Same thing there. Alright, I think we're actually getting somewhere. I'm starting to see some improvement. Yeah, okay. Let's try this one here. So let's actually just try to straighten these up. Let me think. Maybe like that a bit. This one's out of place there. Just keep on going. Keep on tweaking it. Maybe want to tweak just those. I just want to tweak some of these here. Oops. A little too... Let's try that. Let's try that. Let's draw all these down. Let's get these over. Straighten these out a bit. I can't get these to make a little more sense. Yeah, like that. Okay, well how does that look now? I think I've got some weirdness right in here. Can't really see anything that way. Alright, let me just jump back over here. Alright, so it's better, I just have to like figure out whatever that is. And it's just kind of a consequence of only being able to go in one direction. So I might actually want to cave this back in. I don't know. There's not really so much I can do here. This is just turning into a little bit of a mess. Turning into a bit of a mess, and I don't quite... Yeah, okay, so we have... Oh, there we go. Look at that. Okay, so right here we have stuff that's being all weird, and it starts right about there. Let's bring that out. Bring those out. Okay, so it's just kind of like, yeah, we got weirdness everywhere. This is too much movement. Let me change this strength back down to 0.001, and I just kind of need to paint that a little bit. I think I need to do, yeah, I need to do a little bit here, do a little bit there, do some here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix this. So, yeah, it's a bit of work, isn't it? Let's take a look. I got this one. I'm gonna get the subtract brush out here. I got this one dude that's just really out here. I don't need that guy out there like that. I got a bunch of these. Some of these seem like they're making some weird shapes. This guy's just in a weird position. Let me go back to the mix brush. I feel like I'm going to move these guys out some there. I need to move all these out, I think. Alright, well, how's that look? I go back into object mode. It's not the worst thing in the world. I've almost got it fixed. I just gotta, like, deal with this ugly mess here. And kind of got some ugliness going on right here. Alright, so that can probably be solved with the weight with the subtract brush. So let's go ahead and I'm back in mix, so let me go back to subtract brush, let me get the pen back out, let me up my radius a bit here. Yeah, quite a bit of hokiness I gotta deal with, huh? Let's pull these guys back some. It's not enough. Let me up this to 0.003. Let's have a look here. Let's play with that some. And we'll bring this one back some. I really don't need any of these to be out of place, I don't think. Totally out of place anyway. So, good grief. That is definitely some uggos. Yeah, come on. What is causing your uggo? Right there. Is it all of this? right here? Is that making it worse? That's making it worse. Alright, well, put the mix brush back on then. Oops, in the wrong menu. Mix brush, mix brush. Alright, let's try going back out. Okay, I think I might have an idea of what I need to do now. Now that I'm at this angle, I think I can kind of see what needs to happen. So I'm just going to kind of brush this out here. Like this. And I'm going to kind of do the same thing now with this. Let's keep coming. Keep bringing it out. Keep bringing it out. Now it looks kind of rounded. I think I might want to do this in here one or two more times. Like that. Maybe once more. And the same thing here. Bring that out a tad. Bring that out one. Alright. How's that look? Okay. Now, not too bad. I still have some funky reflections here, obviously. So I guess I'll just try to figure that out. What is causing you? There's definitely... Where is it at? Where? I can see some weirdness. But where exactly? Right here is something. It's this one, isn't it? It's you, isn't it? Now, let me change my strength again, 0.001. Just want to make small changes. I think right in here. Maybe there again. Maybe once through there. Maybe once through there. I don't know. Okay, well, let's see how much I've ruined my my model now. Go ahead and clear user transforms and get out of X-ray mode. I got that kind of doing a thing. I guess I just don't have to make it go back too far. And then how about the roof morph? Roof morph is fine. Now what happens if I add the seam to it? See, now it kind of looks a little weird. But you know what? I think we're going to roll with it for the most part. I mean, I've got some weirdness. But God, it's so hard, you know. I mean, that was not an easy morph to do, but I mean, you know, and these reflections are not as bad or as noticeable in automation, but this little rim right here doesn't really belong, but it's kind of part of the fact that I've got all these overlapping morphs. So let's just clear all the transforms and let's move on. Let's do the easy ones. Let's move on, do some easy ones. Let's grab this bone here. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to move it. Oops. Move it right about there. I think. Right about there. Come on. Figure it out, man. Alright. I'm going to move it in a little bit. I don't want it so far away from the car. Alright. So we're going to name this. And we got to use a Blender naming convention for this guy. Let me put my drawing pad away here. Alright. So it's going to be r dot quarter. Like that. And I'm going to duplicate it again. Go ahead and move that into position. and this one is going to be r.fender, like that. So we got our next two bones. Now these are just going to be for the fender morphs. These will be pretty simple. We're not going to do anything too crazy with the fender morphs, because they're such small lips that they'll look a little funny. So we'll just kind of try to morph them so that they can kind of go in and out a little bit. So let's grab the body here and start picking out some edge loops to morph with. So we'll do those, and that's fine. Go ahead and deselect some stuff. Reselect, deselect. A lot of stuff that I don't need, a lot of stuff that I do. So I guess we're starting on the front one. Oh, the other thing I need to do, I definitely don't need to morph that. Definitely don't need to morph that. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is come over here, and no, here, and we're going to add our other two groups, right? So r.fender, r.quarter, and I'm actually going to go ahead and add two more right now. And oh, let me go ahead and lock the seam. Go ahead and add two more. I'm going to name them l.fender and l.quarter, with a capital Q, like that. Okay. All right. So what we do here, I just want to do some basic morphing. I actually don't think I want to morph any of this, as a matter of fact. Definitely don't want to do any of that. Take a look at here. I think I'm going to skip out on these lines, which means I'm probably not going to need some of these other ones. I don't know. This one is a little bit trickier. How do I want to do that one? Do I want to do these? Maybe I'll just go ahead and grab those. Let's grab those and we'll see what happens. Okay, so then I need to move, and this time I'm going to move it in a bit when I go to pose mode. There we go. I'm going to try moving it in a tad. Oh, you know what, I've got it constrained on the Y. It needs to be constrained on the X. Okay, there we go. Alright, so anyway, I'm going to move it in a little bit. Just kind of get it out of the way. It doesn't really matter how far in it is. And, damn it, I lost my selection. So I'm going to undo, so I find my selection. Okay, come on, man. So did I just lose all my vertex groups that I just made? Because that's what I was busy doing. Nope, they're all there. Okay, good. Sure, it's still selected. Go into pose mode. Move that guy. Oh, right, that was what was changed. Okay. Do-do-do. Alright. Okay. Now. Just do this from, like, front view, I think. And this will be interesting. Okay, so let's go back into weight paint mode. And, yeah, we're just going to do small movements here. And I'm going to start with everything, right? I'm going to move everything like one, move it in just a little bit like this. And I think I can go a little bit further. I few more swipes here. Okay, let me jump back into edit mode here. Deselect that line. And let's see. Now I kind of want to start working on like a taper, I guess would be a way to put it. I don't want to go too crazy here. So let me just grab maybe, let's go like this. Let's go like this. Can't really see anything this way though. No, so I guess this is fine. I'll just go like this. Yeah, that should be better anyway. That way I'm just not moving anything more than I have to move. So something like that. Yeah, I think we need to keep going. I think I went a little too far. Let's undo a couple. Let's undo 2. Okay. Back in edit mode. I'm going to deselect that line. Back into front mode. Get into weight paint. Okay. And let's just kind of wrap up what we're doing here. Alright, how did that end up turning out? Let's jump back into object mode. And so that pushes the fender in. Let me go ahead and clear the transform. So we ought to be able to go out and in and have it look pretty good. Yeah, see, so the reason why I did it in instead of out is because I wanted to be able to do that. I wanted to be able to make this so this kind of disappears, and in order to do that, you kind of have to paint it inward. And you know what? I do have some funkiness down on the very bottom. Just a little bit of funkiness on the bottom. I overdid it, I think. I either overdid it or underdid it. So let me go ahead and set this here. And let me take a look and try to figure out what is causing that right there. So, in the weight paint mode. Well, it's obviously a line that I've already done. So let me go back in edit mode and let me grab that line. Let me see if adding to this helps. I'm doing it. Okay, I need to do subtract. Subtract brush. So I think that actually is helping. Let's see if I can kind of clean that up a bit through here. No, it's actually the next one. So let's stop that one there. And let's grab this one. Okay, back into weight paint mode. Keep subtracting. There, that might do it. Object mode. Ooh, whoa. And I have made it worse. Alright, I'm going to hit undo a bunch of times. because I think I'm probably better off leaving it alone, because it's not the worst thing ever, and that's what we're going for, right? Not the worst thing ever. Maybe I can fix it and go in the other way, so I can identify a little more clearly that way. Yeah, it's definitely just kind of the trailing edge of that top line. This one. No, this one. No, this one. Yes. So if I subtract, should be able to do the same thing right over here if that's the issue. It's not the issue, I don't think, over here. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, I think that already has helped a little bit. So, like I said, we're not trying to make, you know, huge fender morphs. We're trying to make little ones. Just little, subtle, collapsible fender morph. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, look at that. It's still, right over here, like one in there that's just not real happy. I kind of feel like I should just remove all of it in here, you know, just get rid of it all. What happens if I just get rid of all the weight, take it all away, leave it alone? What happens then? Well, then I get even more weirdness. I keep making it worse. Let me try undoing all of this. Golly, man. Okay. Alright, I don't know. I think it's fine, because, I mean, like I said, it's not going to be a morph like that. It's just going to be a morph like this, maybe to here, and that's it. And I think we're okay with that. It's just going to be a small, subtle fender lip morph. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now, without having to make you wait to see what's happening, let's go over to the mirrored side, and you can see like nothing over here is happening. Like it's not mirroring this. So what we have to do is, first thing we have to do is, hold on a second. Let me make sure the modifiers are in the correct location. So, yeah, I think the armature needs to be above the mirror, first and foremost. Go back to pose and grab the right object. Okay. Okay, yeah, so now what we have is we have the right one impacting the left one. But we actually don't want that. What we need is another bone over here. So we're going to go into edit mode. We're going to duplicate this bone. No, we're not going to duplicate it. I'm sorry. We're going to right click on the bone and we're going to hit symmetrize, and it'll automatically create a left bone. So now I have to go back and fix the modifiers, because the modifier was in the right place before I did that. If I go here, put the mirror above, now the left one will work the left side, the right one will work the right side. And see, it doesn't, the right one will not do anything with the left side. So there you go. So that's how you do your mirroring your bones. Now, when you go to export into Unreal 4, for now at least, we're working on getting this implemented into the game so that we won't have to change this. But what you'll end up having to do is change this to say r.fender _ opposite, because it's 3ds Max naming convention that Unreal 4 currently recognizes. So anyway, we're working on getting Blender naming conventions recognized so we don't have to do that. But for now, let's move on and go ahead and morph the rear fender, and then we will be done skinning this thing. I think, yeah, that's the last ones I need to do. So let me jump in here. let's go ahead and kind of do the same thing over again. Let's select these little guys here. And this fender is flared a little bit less, it looks like. And that's okay. We'll just make it another kind of softy, simple little flare. It's not a sports car, it's just a van. So I don't want to go crazy with the morphs. Alright. Oops. Not what I'm trying to do there. I'm trying to do that. Okay. Alright. Now we're going to go into rear view. Thinking. Actually, I'm going to not morph any of this right here. I'm not do any of that. And I'm also going to not morph any of this. I don't want to run into the kind of problems I had on the other side. So anyway, let's go into weight paint mode. Get my pen back out. Oh, wait a second. Before I could do that, though, obviously I need to get the mix brush selected, and I need to go back over and move the bone into position. And again, I'm going to kind of move it inside instead of outside. And I lost my damn it. Lost it again. Keep doing that. Keep deselecting my own stuff. Okay. There. Alright, now we're ready. Alright, got it at 0.001. Go ahead and start drawing. Like that. Oh, you know what I actually meant? I missed one here. Okay, though, it's not too late to grab it. Let me go ahead and do a couple passes here. And I can actually do one more, I think. Yeah, that looks like it'll be pretty good right there. Alright. Go into edit mode, deselect this line. Nope. Deselect this line. Yep. Go back into weight paint mode. And it's just going to kind of keep working this area up here. And see, I have kind of an uneven. It's a little uneven right here. Try to even that out some. Yeah, it's a little uneven right there. Try to even that out some. Okay, and let me tab back into edit mode. Let's go ahead and get rid of this line. No, nope. Let's go ahead and get rid of this line. Yep. Alright. Back to weight paint. And let's just make a few more strokes here. And let's see what that does. Jump back into object mode, grab the thing, clear the transform, get out of X-ray mode. Alright, how's that look? That one turned out better. It turned out better than the front one. So anyway, yeah, that's about what I'm looking for. And that'll do it. Alright, so let's jump into edit mode, right click, symmetrize, left quarter. That should automatically make it good to go. Now this side is mirrored as well. Okay. Alright. We have a skinned mesh. Alright, I'm just going to need to get a drink of water, take my jacket off. And then we're going to move on to, I think we're ready to do the UVs here. Before I go too far, I need to copy this mesh over because I'm going to use this to make the van variants, and I don't want to, like, you know, get to a point where I can't return. So let's duplicate this. Hold on a second. Let me get a little more organized up here. So now let's make some new folders. So this one's going to be Econoline truck. Let me go ahead and move the Econoline truck in there. And let's go ahead and throw the Econoline target in there. And the underbody, oh, we'll leave the underbody out here. Okay, now I'm going to make another one. Wait, hold on a second. What do I got going on here? Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rename this to Econoline family. Alright, so now I'm going to add another one down here, and we'll call that Econoline cargo van. I'm going to make a duplicate of this guy, and I'm going to throw it down here for later. Eco cargo van, something like that. And now I can just kind of hide it, don't need to worry about it. And I'm also going to duplicate this for myself here, just so I have a backup in case I ruin something. I can go back to it. So let's go ahead and hide that guy. So now I have I have a backup, and I've got my next van ready to be converted into a van. Oh, I need to stretch. Good grief. I'm getting kind of stiff sitting down all day. I should stand up. Alright, anyhow, where am I at? Okay. We have, where'd my armature go? Actually, don't need to see the armature right now. I'm going to go ahead and hide that again. So I have my van, or my pickup truck, and we're about ready to UV unwrap it and finish this up and start exporting it for Unreal. So let's just go over here and let's apply the mirror modifier. So now I have a whole mesh like this. Let me double check my armature that everything transferred. So I should be able to go into pose mode here and just be able to move these fenders like this. Now let's go ahead and actually rename these now. We're going to rename this bone like this. We're going to put underscore opposite on this end. At the beginning, I'm going to get rid of the L and make it an R. It has to be the exact same name. The only thing that can be different is this opposite at the end of it for now. Hopefully we'll get that changed soon enough so we don't have to do this, because this can get pretty tedious when you're doing multiple families and constantly going back and forth, so on and so forth. But anyway, renaming it like this will automatically rename the vertex group, so you don't have to rename the vertex group, you just rename the bone. The bone will rename the vertex group. So these are all set. Let me make sure all my morphs are working as intended. I haven't borked any of them. I got my front morph here, which is just a little morph. Okay, everything's looking good. Go ahead and hide the armature for now. Alright, let's do some UV unwrapping. I think what I'm going to do, let me go ahead and turn one of these into a 3D view window so I can actually just kind of see my model up here. And let me turn the big window. I'm going to hit Shift F10 until I'm in my UV unwrapping window. Now, I need to do a little bit of setup. Cursor in the unwrap window is way down here in the corner, and we don't want it there. So we're going to come up here to display, and in cursor location, we're going to type 0.5 here, and we're going to type 0.5 here, and that's going to center the cursor. So that's a good start right there. So now I'm going to come up here, I'm going to highlight my mesh, I'm going to hit U and U again. U is the hotkey for the unwrap UV mapping. I'm going to UV unwrap it again with a big U. It's going to take a minute while it thinks about it. And oh, look, I have unwrapped bits I wasn't intending to just yet. Actually, I do need to play with that. This is something I need to experiment with. Let me do this. That'll help me. Select length only works in face select mode when sync selection is enabled. What? Why doesn't that work? Well, maybe if I turn it off. Whoops. I don't know. See, I don't know how to tell which island is which now. If you don't tell me. Normally I don't unwrap these. This is basically this piece here, this piece back here, and this, but I don't know which one is which. Now, if I highlight this, I guess it'll kind of give me an idea. Come on. So that is that side. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit distracted. Before I bother, what I need to do is I need to get everything all lined up, because the UVMesh looks pretty well unwrapped, but it's facing the wrong way. So I'm going to grab the center line of the vehicle, and you can see that selected here. I'm going to rotate it, 90 degrees, either direction, doesn't really matter. And just to make sure it's flat, I'm going to hit SY0, like that. And then I'm going to right click on it, I'm going to hit Snap, Selected to Cursor Offset. And that will line up the line perfectly with the cursor. Now I need to scale it just a tad in. Then I'm going to right click again and I'm going to pin it. Then I'm going to come up here, I'm going to UV unwrap it again. I'm going to wait a minute while it figures it out. And now I have all my islands all over the place. So let me go ahead and turn this off so I can just get my islands out of the way. Whoa, what's going on there? Let's move that one there. Let's move this one over here. Let's move this one out of the way. I'm going to have to bring these back here in a bit. Let's move this one out of the way. Okay, so anyway, I have my unwrap, and now I guess I need to do is I need to figure out. I got this idea from Hamish, and so this is the front one, and this is the front of the van. So I got everything backwards. So I guess what I need to do is highlight all this stuff. And I need to kind of smash it. He said smash it flat and line it up with basically this line where the lip meets the body. It's basically where this part of the mesh meets the body. You're basically going to smash it into itself. Is kind of the idea. So, I mean, we can do that by hitting like SX0, and that'll make it flat. And we can just kind of bring it out here. And then we can just kind of scale it until it meets up. And this is, I don't know, this looks a little hokey. I mean, we can try it. We'll give it a shot. Here, we'll scale it till we got something like that. Then I'm going to deselect that. I'm going to move this. So this is going to be like kind of a weird, I still think this is going to cause tearing. I don't see how this is going to really work. We'll give it a try, but I'm not convinced this is going to work. Normally what I do is I just hide all these parts and I unwrap it without them, and it seems to work okay, other than when you stamp a fixture like weirdly, halfway between the body and halfway into the lip, you can still see the underbody. So this is trying to alleviate that, but I just don't see it, Maybe maybe what I need to do is instead of this, maybe I need to actually collapse all these vertices. Come on. This just seems like really tedious. I don't know if I want to bother with all this work, so we can move that guy. No, maybe it's okay. Just kind of collapse them all onto each other. What the heck? Scale Y0. Move it and line it up with that vertice right there. This might work. It'll probably work, but it's kind of time consuming. So, yeah. Yeah. Not really excited about this at all. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do this. This is just way too much work. There's no way I'm going to sit here and screw with this and line all this up to fix a problem that I don't think is a problem. That's just insane. That's too much work. That's going to take an hour for no good reason. I'm going to have to do it 4 times, one for each variant. No thanks. No thank you. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. If you remember, I had it all selected in the hide me group, so I should be able to go to the vertex group, make sure I have everything deselected, and select the hide me stuff, and I'm just going to hide it. There. Now let me make sure I get that unwrapped again without those objects. I just want this. I don't want the rest of it. Alright, so the other thing to do is to come down here to UV maps and make a second one, because we need 2. We need 2 of them. Okay, so the other things to check are to make sure that your lips aren't cutting into, sometimes these lips will overlap parts of your mesh. Mine are not, so I don't have any kind of weirdness going on. So anyway, alright, that looks good. UVs are done. It's kind of that simple. If you don't bother with the kind of ridiculous underbody thing that I tried to do there. Just ignore that part. And here we go. Okay, so we're ready to export. Oh, what have I done? Oh, I've never done that before. Oh no. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Whew. Why would you let me collapse that? That doesn't even make any sense. Anyway. So let's go ahead and get this armature back in place. So now what we have to do is we have to select the armature. Let's get into object mode. We select the armature and then shift select the truck. We need both of these selected. Now we're going to hit F2 and hit export and go down to FBX. And I actually have to create a new file. So let me see. I need to go here, keep everything organized, go to FBX and create a new. I keep everything organized, so I gotta have somewhere to put this, right? So I'm gonna put that there, and I'm gonna go back up here and go ahead and make a file for my mod. It was in a separate location. Same name though. Okay. That's all I need to worry about. So now I can go over here and go into my dev folder, go to my mods, go to FBX files, which is where I keep all my FBX files, throw it here. Okay, now we're going to call it Eco Truck. And I'm going to come over here. I got to do some export. Here's your FBX export selections. And I got to do some selections over here. So first thing I got to do is select the object, because I only want to export the things that I have selected. I don't want to export the entire blend file. So that's why I selected the armature and then shift selected the truck. Those are the 2 things that are selected. That's what I want to export. So that's what that does. Now I'm going to come over here to the geometry tab. I'm going to change this to faces. And I'm going to click on tangent space over here. Oh, there's one thing I also forgot to do. So this isn't going to work quite yet. I'm going to declick leaf bones. And I'm going to have to do this all over again, because if I try to export this, I think it's probably going to fail. And it actually did it. Okay. What I normally do, though, and I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway, is I actually manually triangulate my mesh, which means, oh, you know what I never did? I never skinned my my bounding boxes, and I never added the bounding boxes to the vehicle. Aha! See, so I forgot something. So let's go and grab our bounding boxes. It should look like that. So let me get this. I don't need this anymore. So now I've got the bounding boxes selected. What we need to do is we need to skin them. It's not going to take long. So, and we can probably, yeah, let's just do this. Let's go ahead and tab in, select everything. Go ahead and create the root bone group and assign it all to weight 1. Then I'm just going to do for the rear morph, I'm going to do something like, I'm going to select these guys right here, right? So I've got, oh, I'm not in X-ray mode. Select these guys, and I'm just going to basically, I'm not going to weight paint this. I'm just going to add this. I'm going to go rear morph, and I'm going to give it a weight of like, I don't know, 0.25, and we're going to assign it to the rear morph. So now oh, I have to give it the armature modifier. Actually, I don't have to do that, because we're going to join it to the truck that has the armature modifier. So in any event, let me just, why am I not able to, come on guy, there, I want these. Alright, so roof morph, I don't think I'm going to have that do anything. The seam, the windshield morph, I'm not going to have that do anything. The front morph, maybe I'll have it work this a little bit. What am I doing? Come on. Maybe I'll have it do this guy. So let's go ahead and add front morph. And assign it a weight of 1/4. And I think that'll probably be fine. Nothing else really needs to, like, doing the windshield morph isn't really changing the cab dimensions. It's supposed to. Maybe I should do it just to be a little more consistent. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something like that. And then I'm going to do, come over here. I'm going to do wind morph. I'm going to assign it about 1/4. Okay. Now let's go apply the mirror, and let's join it up with this object here. Now, when I do pose mode, here, the cargo box will move. The windshield morph will move like that. It's moving a little too much. So what I'll do is I'll tab in. Being problematic again. Alright, I've already got it selected. Yeah, not very well though. Okay, so let me grab like that. And I'm just going to change the morph value in the vertex group. Windshield morph. I gotta unlock it. I'm going to change it to 0.1. Go ahead and lock that again. There, that makes more sense. Okay, and then a rear morph looks fine. Front morph. Front morph is way off, so we need to change that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and tab back in here. And we're going to do kind of the same thing. You can go front morph, unlock it, change it to 0.10, lock it back up again. Still heavy. Too much. Still too much. Alright, so I'm going to go back and try it again. Tab in here. Let's make it more like 0.05. Alright. See if that helps. That's fine. That's adequate. Okay, so anyway, let me jump back into the vehicle here, highlight everything. I'm going to hit Alt-T. Is that the wrong one? Is it Alt-T or is it Control-T? It's Control-T, sorry. It's Control-T, and then I'm going to come down here to the drop-down box and hit Fixed, and that will auto-triangulate everything for me. Now, we're ready to export. We're actually ready to export, and so I'm just going to go ahead and overwrite the file I already wrote. And the next thing I have to do is launch Unreal Engine right here. And as of right now, the Unreal Engine is what, 4.21.2. Anyway, so let's get this set up here. That's the wrong one. Hold on. I need this one. Sorry, this is the developer build. This is the build you guys have here. It's the one I need to open, I think. Hold on a second. Let me make sure. Well, that's not the one. This is the one. This is the old 4.17.2 one. This is the current one. Should not get that convert window right this second. If you're on 4.21.2 right now, you shouldn't get the skip conversion issue thing. You actually do need to do that on a developer build, but not on the modding build. So let's go ahead and create our new mod. I'm going to do a new body variant. We're going to call it, what was I calling it? Generation _ 010. Author Hard Rooster. Description bodies. Alright, let's go ahead and create that. Okay. I'm going to give that a minute to work. Oh, I'm connected to source control. I shouldn't be. Hold on. Run without source control. There. I should not have that on. Okay. Generation 010 setup where? Oh, I named it wrong. It's okay. It's fine. It is fine. It will work. So we're just going to tab in here and get to our blueprint and name it something appropriate. In this case, it'll be 60s van 60s van truck. How about that? 60s van truck. Totally appropriate, right? Now we're going to import our mesh that we exported. So we go to FBX files. It's this one here, Eco Truck. Go ahead and import it. Now let me make sure the settings are okay. It should be skeletal mesh. Yeah, it's a skeletal mesh. Import mesh. Preserve smoothing groups. Not that. Import mesh targets. Yep, I have this selected. This is different from default. Import normals and tangents. Everything else. Everything should be set up in here. Down here, local. I think we actually don't want this. I guess it doesn't matter. It says it if import materials on textures are always imported. So it doesn't really matter on or off. So let's just go ahead and import it. And there's our body. So there's always errors that pop up. First thing I'm going to do is save because Unreal loves to crash. Okay, so first thing I need to do is we need to go up here into File, hit Open Level, and it's this one, Car Body Edit Scene. You're probably not going to see it. It's probably going to look something like this, but you can just go highlight content, go up here and just type car in the search box, and it'll get you your Car Body Edit Scene level. And that's what we need to open. And this is the part that really loves to crash for me, especially on a first mod. I just made a new mod. I just imported my new meshes, and I'm about to start simulating this level. I will be expecting a crash or two. at this point. In my particular case, I get crashes. So anyway, if you saw what I did, I went up here, I went to this little down arrow and I hit simulate. You can also just click in this window and hit Alt S and you'll be simulating. Then you're going to scroll up to the top and find BP Car Blueprint Editor. And you're going to click there. So now we're going to click on our, oh wait, I've jumped the gun. I have jumped the gun a tad. I need to go into my blueprint first. Before I do any of that, I need to drag the body in there. I need to go down here. I'm going to go ahead and generate new UIDs. And I'm going to compile and save and close. Now I can Alt S, right? Go into Blueprint Car Builder Editor up here. I'm going to click on the blueprint and then go down here where it says Blutility. And I'm going to just, with the blueprint highlighted, I'm going to click on this arrow like that. And then all I have to do is go load body. There she is. There it is in Unreal. So let me take a look around. How do my reflections look? It's going to look similar in game. Okay. So far so good. So far so good. I'll probably come back later and mess with some materials. I might want to do like a two-tone or something, but what I'm doing right now is I really just kind of want to flesh this out and make sure everything's working, make sure my morphs are working, and that I don't have any kind of borkage going on. I got to go back and remodel stuff. So what we're going to do from here is going to click on the vehicle itself, and you'll see all your bones. That's what those little blue dots are. Those are all your bones. But we're going to come down here first. We'll do the limits later. And we're going to give it the name, and it was, what, 60s van truck. Let's see, it's not a soft top, it's not a hard top. Cargo does not subtract on this one because it's a pickup truck. It's not release ready, but I'm going to actually have to click that for here. And this is going to be a truck. Year will be 1960. Doors are 2. Maximum row of seats is 1. I'm not going to give you a second row of seats in that little tiny area. I don't believe the real Econoline had a seat back there. Anyway, so that's done. I'm gonna save as I go. So I'm gonna go up here to Edit Blueprint. In order to save, you go up to Edit Blueprint, Apply Instant Changes to Blueprint, and then you'll see this little star show up, and then you can just go Control S and save it. So now if you have a crash, at least you will not have lost your position. So anyway, next up is, let me collapse some of this other stuff. I'm going to do the chassis setup. And so in order to do that, I think I'm going to change views. I'm going to go to left view. Yeah, I want to be in left view, and I want to be in wireframe so that I can kind of see. Oh man, I did that again. I don't even know how to get rid of it. There. Looks like I stopped simulating. I'm going to start over. Okay. Doing it again. 60s van truck. Load the body. Alright. Click on the truck. Alright, here we go. Back to where we were. Alright. Now, if you'll remember back to the first video, I modeled the thing with the body on the ground plane. And so you can see here we are, the body's on the ground plane, and it matches up with the bottom of the chassis pretty well. So all I have to do is just kind of start figuring out what my wheelbase is. And I was pretty close. 220. It was a little bit long. How about 215? It might be a little short. How about 217? That's pretty good. I'm going to move it back a tad on the y-axis. Maybe a centimeter. Whoops. Whoa. -1. Try to get that centered. It looks pretty centered here. That looks pretty centered there. That's not bad. Yeah, that looks okay. Alright, default height offset. I might actually want to push this down just a centimeter. Because it's not, doesn't seem like it's quite on the ground plane. So default suspension height, let's say maybe 15. How about make it a little lower? Make it a little lower. How about we do something where kind of want this wheel slightly tucked in to the fender. I think 10's good. 10's probably a good default height. Alright, now I'm going to set the firewall distance, which is way over here right now, and this white line is kind of your engine. So, yeah. Let's just kind of put the firewall about there, and we're going to change the nose length so that we can actually get some engines in here. 40 is going to be a little too much. 35. That's not a lot of space. You're not going to get like an inline 6 in there with the firewall where it is. I'm going to give you a little more room, I think. That's too much room. Let's try 130. 135. That's probably adequate. That should be an adequate amount of space. Puts the firewall back here. Gives you some room for an engine up here. You know, I am tempted. No, we're not going to do this. You know what I'm going to do? Because in the real life, the engine's like over here. And that's kind of where I want to put it, as best as I can. So I'm going to make the nose length 0 again. And I'm going to just kind of push the firewall back, maybe here, like that, so that the engine actually ends up in the right location, kind of over the front axle, because otherwise it's going to be so unbalanced weight-wise. It's going to be so heavy on the front. It's already going to be heavy on the front end like this. But if the engine was like way up here, that would be just insane. So, yeah, we don't want to do that. Alright, so let me get the rear tail length set up about 5? 10? 15? 15's probably good. Okay, and the reason why I'm having, if I put the nose length back to where it like was, you're going to have way too much engine bay room. And I don't want to make this thing ridiculous, and I don't want to make it front heavy. Like, more importantly, I want it to be more balanced weight-wise. So I'm going to do my best to keep the weight over here. Maybe I'll go ahead and push the firewall back just a tad more. There, that'll give you some pretty good room for a motor. Alright, that's looking pretty good. And now I have to set the track. So let me go to front view. And let me set the track width here. That's way too much. That's probably not bad. Alright, let's go ahead back into lit view perspective. Let's take a look at where that track puts us. Not too shabby. Let me go ahead and save my work before I get crashed here. Alright, I think I want to make it a little bit lower. I want to go and put the suspension back down a tad. Yeah, something like that. That, I think, looks pretty good. With the wheel tucked into the back there. Let me make sure I don't have any weirdness going on with the chassis sticking out. It's not right now. That's the real thing I need to check out once it's in game, is make sure that the chassis doesn't stick through. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Now, so that should set up the chassis. Let's do the wheels. So, default wheel diameter is 55, and that actually looks okay. Let's put it on a 14-inch rim. And 55 might be a little small. Let's try 58. That probably looks a little better. Let's make it a little narrower, like 135, maybe a 125. It's a van tire. It's not a big old fat tire. That might be a little too narrow. Let's go with a 145. That's not too bad, huh? That is not too shabby. Okay. So that means I want to make my minimum wheel maybe something like a 50. What would that look like? I have to kind of type it in over here. It's pretty small, but that should be okay. And then maximum wheel maybe something like a 65. What would that look like? Pretty big, but I can actually fit a little bit more. About 68. 67? I think we're going to do 67 for max. And then I think 58 was where I decided to settle on for the stock size. Okay, so wheels are set. Let me go ahead and apply instance changes to the blueprint and save it. Alright. Everything else, I already set the UIDs. The engine, you don't have to really do anything here, I don't think. Should already be set up front engine. Aero. Okay, this thing's probably not very aerodynamic. I have a Aerodynamics kind of web page somewhere, but I don't know if it's going to have something this new. I'm just going to kind of guess. It's a big old brick. I'm going to guess that... Ah, there it went. I knew it was going to crash. There it goes. Did not... At least I saved my work and I hadn't really gotten anywhere, so let's launch it again. It wasn't even simulating. It was just kind of spurring around. Alright, which one am I on here? This one. Alright, 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 alright. Uncrashing the crash. Alright, where was I? Down here. Let's go ahead and open our level back up. Car body edit level scene. Okay. Let's try this again. What was I doing? Was I simulating? Maybe I was simulating. Should have been, I think. Yeah, because I was trying to figure out what to do next, right? So, oh, arrow is what I was setting up next, right? Okay, so let's just set it to something like 0.54. I just kind of guess most of these, you know. I do like a Jeep is 0.58. This is pretty bad. 0.54 is really a brick. It's very unaerodynamic. So we're going to do that. Lift, I'm going to do something like 0.0022. I'm just going to kind of fake it. Is that too many decimal points? No, I think there's supposed to be 2 zeros. I'm not sure. 0.0028, 24. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. There's a calculator for it that doesn't work. Like it's a like you go to the automation wiki and it gives you a link to Google documents that you don't have the ability to manipulate, so it doesn't do you any good. And it's confusing, and I wouldn't know how to use it anyway. So I just kind of guess. I just kind of look at what the arrow numbers are for other cars in the game, and just kind of like copy in that range. I don't really care. It's, you know, paint and materials. I think I don't have to worry about materials just yet. I'm going to actually do that here in a second. Now I'm going to set up the bones, I think. I'll go ahead and save my changes. Now I got arrow set up. So let's go ahead and set up our morphs. I'm going to go ahead and get wireframe on here. Maybe not. Maybe not just yet. I'm going to grab my front morph. Let's start with that one, because I know it's going to do a little bit of this. Now let me do the wireframe. I'm going to go put it in wireframe mode, so I can kind of see what's up. Yeah, because I don't want to go too far in. So I'm going to right click that and add the limits. I want to pull it out just a little. Not too much. I'm going to add that to limits. Okay. Now for the front here, we should be able to push it in a tiny bit. Add that to limits, and we can pull it way out. We'll add that to limits. Something like that. Then the seam, let me go ahead and get into left view. And the seam, go ahead and do something like that. And we'll add that to limits. I didn't really design it to go this way, so but it would probably be okay if I went a little bit over there. Add that to limits. We'll do this guy now, and let me go ahead and throw the wireframe on. Really didn't design it to go in, but it can go in a little. So I'm going to make it go in a little, add limits, come out to here, nice big old flat window, add that to limits. That back where it belongs. Alright, come on down here to the rear. And again, not really designed to go in, but we can go in a little. Add that to limits. Go ahead and pull it out. I don't want to, again, trying to be cognizant of not overstretching the mesh. I don't want this to go too far, so I'm going to add that to limits there. Hopefully that won't cause any tearing. Alright, let me go back into perspective view. And this one I might actually want to be in lit view. That's not all that helpful, is it? I'm getting lost. Okay. This one's kind of hard to see. So I'm going to push this in a little. We're going to add that to limits. I'm going to pull it out a bit. That's way too far. It's supposed to be a little bit like that. Add that to limits. Alright, and do the same thing over here. Add that to limits. Add that to limits, and that should do that. Let's go ahead and apply instance changes to the blueprint. I'll save it. And that should pretty much do that. Let's go ahead and stop. Let's jump in here and check our materials out. So I have paint, trim, windows. This is the wrong windows material. It needs to be the red one. Lip placement, lower bounds, cabin bounds. See, this is what I named them in Blender to the correct name, so it automatically pulls them up here, which is handy. So everything's pretty much set. So we'll save that. And now we just got to go make a blueprint. So to do that, we go up here to Developer Sandbox, go down to Thumbnail Generator level and open it up. And we're here. Go find my new vehicular. And I'm going to go up here to a body. I'm going to need that. So first I'm going to have to start simulating. Now I can click on that. You can go over here. So I clicked on this. Over here to default. Clicked on that. If you have a bunch of these that are filled out, you can just hit this little X over here. It'll close them up like this. So anyway, you do that and you hit export preview. Now the next step's really important. You gotta do this. Hit stop. Not that step, but this one. You have to go into your thumbnails, open it up, and manually save them. Highlight them both. You can hit Shift and click to highlight them both. Then Control S and save. It doesn't look like they need to be saved, but they do. If you don't save them, they won't show up in the game. That's about it. We're ready to take a look at it in automation. So let's go ahead and grab it. I'm going to put it in my folder that I created for it earlier. While I'm doing that, I'm going to open up my plugins folder where it goes. I'm going to open up my mod folder where I'm keeping it. It's going to be over here. Let's go ahead and launch Steam. Games. I don't need the splash screen. I'm not going to launch the game yet, so put that away. Okay, mod's done cooking. I'm going to go copy it over. Copy, paste, and that should do it. We can play. Let's go ahead and play automation. I'm going to do the no options menu so I don't get my mods deleted. Get the little spinning wheel of thinkiness. Enter the game. It's kind of, I don't know why it keeps doing that. Oh man, I'm an idiot. Hit the wrong friggin' button. Let's try this again. Now that it's launched once, it won't take as long to launch a second time. It should go pretty quick. Okay. What I meant to do was hit that button. Alright, so let's jump in the sandbox, create a new model. And where are we at? 1960, so let me just filter it down. 1960, there you are. Yeah, and there it is. And so, oh man, that's loud. I hope you guys aren't having to listen to that too much. Let me mute or turn down, yeah, mute the TV. So you have to listen to that crap. And let's toss an engine together real quick. I don't actually have anything. I was just going through with the developer build, and I was having some crashing and weirdness going on there. So I took my my files and took them out, so they're saved elsewhere. So I have nothing right now. Let's go ahead and throw this together. I don't really care if it's going to die. The engine's unimportant. Alright, let's take a look at our van. There she is. Alright, let's see. Let's check out the reflections. That's what I'm most interested in. So that reflection's passing through there nicely. This one's passing evenly through here. You can see the bulge is causing this kind of bulginess like it's supposed to. Uh-oh. Oh dear. What on earth has happened here? Do I have a normals problem? I don't think so. You know what? I bet it is. This is a different, I think it was a bug that I saw the other day. And it had to do with, I don't know. So that's like, that doesn't even have anything to do with the mesh. You know. Let me double check in Blender and make sure that I didn't have any normals. So I've already checked this. Yeah, faces are all facing the right way. I don't have a normals problem. So this is something in the game right here. And not quite sure. Put on red, it kind of went away, huh? Put on blue, put on yellow. And it's just in the metallics. Okay, well, weird. Just in the metallic paints. Let me, maybe I can get one of the devs in here real quick. Let me go ahead and ping them in Discord, private chat. And go. Sorry about the delay, but I'm going to go ahead and copy the URL, paste it in here. And type it out. Hey, I've got a paint bug to show you. You see, do I need to unlock my chat or something? Shouldn't need to. Anyway, so here we are. Let me make sure I actually ping these guys. Okay. Alright, so that's I'm going to go ahead and grab a snip real quick of it also. We'll type it out only on metallic paints. Okay, anyway, what I'm doing, and I'll wait for them to respond. I might need to turn the volume back up so I can hear them pinging back. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so what am I doing? I'm checking my reflections as the goal. Just kind of want to go through. The seams look good. Reflections look good. The glass looks good. Yeah, everything's looking okay. Alright, let's go back here and do some morphing. Okay, that morph is working. Got this one. Can't really grab it, huh? Well, there's that one. Can't really see it. Let me get a different color. Let me try blue. Go back to the morphs. Doesn't really stand out very well, does it? I'm going to end up redoing this morph because I got nothing moving at all down here. So this is like part of the quality control check. This one's looking a little better, but I have nothing going on right here, so I might want to add a little bit of weight to some stuff down there. Alright, let's check out the front morph. Okay, that looks pretty good. Take out this one here. It's not the worst thing in the world, and that's what we're after, right? So we'll be able to move that, and then the idea is you can move this, and then you can make a big old square econoline. I've mentioned this in the past. Okay, anyway. So yeah, the morphs look pretty good. Even though I can't really see all, I don't know why they're not all highlighting. That's kind of weird. Like I'm hovering over this, it doesn't highlight. This one highlights, that one highlights, that one highlights. The wheel well barely highlights. This one barely highlights. But yeah, otherwise we're looking pretty good here, I think. Okay, now that pinging is the, I don't know, is the devs contacting, answering back. Anyway, alright, so yeah, let me check fixtures. Let's do some stamping tests. That's a pretty good one. It's the headlight. What we want to do is make sure that we don't have any kind of weird tearing going on. Let's just start making lots of fixtures and stamping them around. And so far so good. Just copy bunches of these. How does that look over here? Looking pretty good. So yeah, this is Blender mirrored the UVs really nicely for us so that we don't have to worry too much about UV issues. The only thing to be cognizant of is, like I said before, when you're setting up your morphs, you can get some tearing in the morph area if your mesh gets too stretched. So like right here we're okay because I didn't stretch the morph like crazy. But if you have like a little square that becomes a big long rectangle, you'll get a bunch of tearing. So you got to be kind of careful about how you set those up. But we're looking pretty good here. UVs are looking solid. Come on, come on. Not getting any tearing. Also, if your morphs are not symmetrical, you might have good-looking cutouts on one side and tearing on the other side. And asymmetrical UVs are possible. They're a thing, especially if you have a really tortured mesh. But they're fixable, and it just takes some work. So let me go ahead and stamp some stuff on the roof here. Check the roof out. This is working out pretty good. This model has turned out pretty well, I think, overall, even though I had trouble with it in the modeling phase. Here we are kind of putting it together. Throw some crap in the bed. Yeah, I think we're okay. Look at that, even the wheel wells have some decent cutout going on. Okay. Yeah, I think the passes the UV stamp test. I wonder if I can put the windshield wipers on there like I wanted to. Where'd those go? Where are windshield wipers living these days? Maybe they'd be in miscellaneous fixtures. I don't see them though. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Oh. Anyways, yeah, here's some fixtures to look forward to. Be coming soon. Things like little Jeep door handle, right? Stuff like that. Anyway, that's not related to this. So, I think we're mostly done with this stream. We've gone on for a couple of hours. We have successfully finished skinning our mesh. We did the UVs, exported it, set it all up in Unreal, got it in the game. It passes the stamping test. The morphs are mostly working. I need to go back and kind of tweak the wheel well morphs a little bit. That's no big deal. That's why I kept a copy of my car without the mirror modifier applied, so I can go back and fix, because there's usually reasons to fix morphs, and so I have a couple reasons. And otherwise, let me see how bad that morph tears. Let me go back to fixtures. There should be, that one moves quite a lot, so there might actually be, oh, it's not tearing. Let me do the front one. Let me do the front morph there. Check tearing before I hang up this stream, because that's pretty well stretched as well. Yeah, see, with that stretch it tears a little bit. There's a little bit of tearing here with that morph, but it's not bad. It's totally acceptable. That's an acceptable amount of tearing for a morph area. You just don't want to have like gigantic holes. And this is a fixture with a really thin bezel too, so yeah, it's all working. That's fine. That's fine. This is fine. This is okay. So anyway, yeah, I think we'll wrap this stream up here and call it a day. If there's anything you guys want to see, leave some notes in the comments. Ask me some questions, and I can always do follow-ups, follow-up videos or whatever. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later.